What is the story, everybody? It's Jonathan, Sean, and Sean from Team ChainBlock coming at you with yet another deck profile. But as always, before we get into it, please like, comment, subscribe. Please help us reach our goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers and use the discount ChainBlock5 for 5% off all your purchases over at Kong's Cards. Most recent set at time recording, or the closest set, is Infinite Forbidden, right around the corner. Pre-sales are up on Kong's Cards. Get them quick, they will go ASAP. So yeah, Sean, you are profiling for us everybody's favourite deck. What is it?
We're bringing back Pure Branded. So the story behind this is I didn't like the format, so I wasn't going to play Nationals.
Fair.
Happened to come buy a ticket, so I decided to just go and farm the side events.
And you've done really well.
Yeah. Very narrowly missed getting the second map, but I got the one.
Yeah, one map. What was it? One first, 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, that's great going. But yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so first things first, a lot of people are playing this at 60 at the minute. I think at 60 you just don't see a high enough volume of the good cards.
Fair.
So I'm playing 48. There's no real reason for that number, I just want to play around 50.
Cool, that's fair.
So to get started, 3 Fallen of Albaz.
Yeah.
Centerpiece of the deck, you can't play less.
Yeah, that's fair.
3 Albion the Shrouded Dragon.
Yes.
This is Upstart Goblin, and while it's on field or in grave, it is Fallen of Albaz.
It's Albaz, yes.
So you can use that for like Albion banish requirements and stuff.
Cool.
Then 2 each of Quem and Cartesia.
I think I like them ratios.
You could definitely go to 3 Cartesia, but I think in this list you just see it as much as you need to.
Yeah.
Quem's a powerhouse.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's part of the end board. It can be a starter in certain hands. It brings back all your fusions.
It's still really expensive.
Insane. We've got the 2 Troy Brigade Mercuria.
Nice.
A lot of people only play 1, especially if they're not on Allure, which I don't like in this deck.
Yeah. I gave out to you like last month for hitting me with the second one, but it's popping up more, definitely.
This is the best thing to banish off Gold Circ as well.
Yes,
because it gets any card that lists Fallen. It's also negate as soon as you get to one of the fusions.
Fair.
So, it really helps protect the setup. Generally just an all-around good card. Never sad to see it. And then the 1 Springen's Kit.
Love Kit. Great card.
I was on the fence about this one, but getting back branded spell traps from the grave on later turns is really useful.
Really good.
It's also, again, it's just another card that adds branded fusion.
Yeah, no, this card really shines in your second turn.
So then the Despia engine.
Yes.
3 Aluber.
Yeah.
Searches any branded spell trap.
Yeah, 3.
You could go down to 2. I wouldn't like to.
Yeah.
The 1 Tragedy.
Yeah.
And then this is a personal thing.
Yeah. You're still playing that?
A lot of people don't play another Despia target. I do. I play ad libitum. This card can revive any fusion from, or Despia, but you're reviving fusion, from deck or banished.
Is that when it's special summoned?
No, it's when it's used as fusion material from hand or field.
Cool.
This actually comes up a huge amount.
Yeah.
It's really, really solid. It's like insanely good off branded in red, for example. Yeah. You can definitely not play it. I just prefer to.
That's fair.
And it's been one of those cards that has made a lot of awkward hands pull through.
I thought you were going to say Dramaturge. I still play Dramaturge. Was it fair? No,
Dramaturge is fun. I would probably play it if I was on 60. There's not really room in here.
That's fair, yeah. That's fair.
Then for the Bestials, the 1 Libellion and the 1 Saranir.
Cool, yeah.
Sets up Branded Loss. That card's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, it's a great card.
And gotta play it. 1 Gimmick Puppet Nightmare.
Slide that over there, yeah.
Wins you pretty much every game. You don't even side it out going second, because a lot of the time you are breaking your opponent's board, not killing, and then putting this straight back up.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a mirror match of Branded live on stream where they're both trying to get the Gimmick Puppet first?
Yep.
That's quite funny.
So then on to the spells.
Yeah.
3 Branded Fusion.
Ew.
Probably the best card in the game.
Yeah, 100%.
It's unbelievably
Did you say
good.
the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Similarly, pre-branded opening.
Great card.
This discards for effect.
It does.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you don't have to discard if it gets ashed.
Nice.
And more importantly, it can trigger cards that trigger from...
Effect, yeah.
Yeah, being
There's
sent
a
by
lot
effect.
of them, yeah, cool.
And then it's protection for your fusions in the grave. Doesn't activate 'cause it's a replacement effect.
Yeah.
And it summons Despia. So you summon your Aluber, and you get to
Pop off.
any of the other ones.
Yeah.
It's easily the best starter because
Yeah.
it doesn't eat your normal
I
as
know
well.
some people have feelings about branded, but whoever plays branded, I think we should consider ourselves very lucky that both these cards are still at 3.
In TCG, we are blessed to
Yes.
still have them. Yeah. 2 branded in red.
2 branded in red.
There's an argument for 1.
Yeah. No, I respect
especially
it.
with Kit.
Yeah.
But for follow-up turns,
Yeah.
this really helps you get to game a lot easier. You also, a lot of people don't know this, but the fusion is optional. The only effect you have to do is adding back the card.
Right.
So a lot of times you can use this to just recur materials in like reduced game state.
Did not know that. I'm not going to lie to you.
You've got the one branded in High Spirits.
There we go.
A lot of people swear by this.
Yeah.
To me, it is a lot of steps to do not very much.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it still gets you to Cartesia, it still gets you to Quam and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's searchable, and I don't ever want to open multiples.
You know, I agree.
so-
I've seen people play this at 3, and I don't know. I'm on the fence about it, but I respect that opinion. I don't think it does enough.
The other thing about this is it adds itself back
Yeah.
in the end phase. So there's no reason, in my eyes, to go above 1 because you're activating it, and then at the end of your turn,
Yeah.
you're getting it back anyway. 1 branded lost.
Great card.
I would even consider playing 2 of this. It is unbelievable. You don't need to because you just get to it so easily off Lubellion or off Aluber, but
You can add it back, can't you?
you can add it back off Kit,
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
yet another reason to play Kit. This searches all of your guys and insulates your fusion effects.
Cool.
It's absolutely insane. The only problem with it is that it's not exactly Meltdown, so they can still ash your stuff.
Yeah. I found that out the hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can play 1 more, usually. A lot of people play Branded in White as another fusion spell. I think the best one that you can play is
Oh,
Theater.
the field spell is so good.
It's just a generic fusion
Yeah.
that you can use turn after turn because it stays there. And then if one of your Despias, well, any non-fusion fairy, but in this the Despias, gets removed from field by a card effect or destroyed by battle, you can bring back any fusion monster from your grave.
Yeah, that's just insane.
Then 3 fusion deployment.
Here we go. Yeah.
This can summon Fallen or Cartesia.
Yeah.
And you're fusion locked by branded fusion anyway. So
Without-
there's literally no downside.
Without
to this.
question, the best deck that fusion deployment is in. Yeah.
It's an unbelievably good
Yeah,
extender.
so good.
And it really, really helps with breaking boards going second. Then 3 Forbidden Droplet.
Yep.
You don't really care about losing the number of cards in hand because everything works in grave and stuff as well.
Yeah.
But you can use this like in chain with your branded fusion, send that as part of the cost and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen people in chain send branded fusion and this from hand. With
Yeah.
droplet. It's quite good.
It's pretty good for getting, for example, that out your hand as well.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal going second. You can set it going first.
Exactly.
I've never had an issue with this card, and I think in any decks with like a lot of spells like this,
Yeah.
like a lot of normal spells, it's particularly good. 3 Triple Tactics Thrust
Yeah.
and 3 Triple Tactics Talent.
Yeah.
You're above 40 by like a fair
you
bit.
might as well.
So you can play the 3 of each. It doesn't even particularly matter if you draw multiples, because as long as you resolve 1, this deck gains so much advantage from that.
Yeah. No, there's so many times where you just like you nearly broke through someone's board and then you activate either one of those and it just sends it over.
The other thing is Thrust is particularly mandatory in this deck because it's the only way to really get through Ashon Branded Fusion in weak hands.
For a card with C seal.
Yep. And if you draw both of these, you're sorted.
Yeah.
1 Gold Sark.
Yup, love it.
This can banish either Mercurier or Trag. which gets you to any Despia or any card that lists Fallen.
My mind went through Trugodia. I've been playing too much Edison.
ChainBlock special, one called by the grave.
Always.
Can't leave home without it.
Always.
Then the one branded Retribution. This is the card you're sending off Saranir most of the time. It banishes from grave to add back any branded spell trap.
It does.
But I have actually found myself using the main effect quite a lot. So this is pretty much an omni to any effect that includes an effect to special summon a monster.
Yeah, which is a lot now.
By putting back either one from field or two fusion monsters from grave that lists Fallen of Albaz.
Yeah.
In certain matchups, this is a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Usually you're just sending it to get the extra recursion, but it's not a bad card. This is not a brick.
No, if you know what you're playing against, it can win the game.
And then finally, fusion duplication.
Yeah.
This set off the thrust if you get ashed on the branded fusion. It's phenomenal to draw. A lot of people are bumping this up to 3.
Ew.
I don't want to see a multiple.
No.
The main reason I'm not. I'm also not on 60, which is becoming more and more standard. So you are seeing the thrust more often. Overall, extremely happy with the list.
Sure.
Did everything I needed it to do.
Thanks.
So on to the extra. We've got 2 Albion,
Cool.
1 Lubellion, 2 Mirror Jade.
Yeah.
These are the standard ones. Pretty much been playing the same ratio since the structure deck came out.
Fair.
Mirror Jade, as always, is a house.
Yeah.
We're playing 1 Albion the Sanctifier.
Probably for the last format, hopefully.
This is the best card in the deck.
Yeah, it's
by
without
a long shot. Titaniclad, also an unbelievable card.
Yep.
A lot of the times you're sending this as cost for something, usually the Mirror Jade or whatever, or sending it off Grand Guinal because it'll summon Quem in the end phase.
It does, yeah. I was going to say, Quem
But
counts as a Despia.
it also becomes particularly big.
Yeah.
It's got very loose material requirements for when you're using the Super Poly effect of Albaz going second.
Yeah.
And it's unaffected by the activate effects of other monsters the turn it's summoned.
Oh, that's really good.
So, because you're usually sending Fallen and, let's say, Lubellion for this, it becomes 3/7 and unaffected.
So it's probably the best target when you special summon Albaz into someone's board.
It's definitely the most generic.
Cool.
I'm also playing the 1 Rindbrum.
Great card.
It's a negate and bounce for extra deck monsters. And also, when it's in your grave, you can banish Fallen or itself to summon the other.
Cool.
While you have both of them. So it's a quick effect to summon Fallen, then use the Super Poly on your opponent's turn.
Nice.
Extremely good. It also can use the Mercurier or the Kit as fusion material to get them into grave.
That's pretty good.
And then the 1 Albalenetus.
Let's go.
So this can get branded fusion or fusion deployment during the end phase when it's sent. You usually just send it as cost from Mirror Jade.
Yeah.
But it does have applications into a lot of decks that end on dragons.
I mean, you
can set Fallen of Albaz.
You could play a dealing player, they're still around, like.
Even in specific matchups, like Snake Eye has started making the Hope Harbinger,
yeah.
and they end on the Flamberge.
Yeah, so
that's 2 dragons that you can just basically link away from them.
Suck up.
And then the last Albaz fusion I'm playing is Sprind.
Cool, yeah.
This was just because I was worried about people being on Contact C at this specific event, and wouldn't you know it, they were.
Oh.
This is the worst card in the deck.
It is.
But it is your main out to Contact C.
It's the worst of the best card, depending on what the match is.
Yeah. If you see Contact C, it shoots up to the best.
Yeah.
1 Grand Guinal.
Fair.
I really wanted to play 2.
Okay.
Couldn't find the space. Never needed it.
Cool. Nice.
So this can send any level 6 or higher light or dark from deck or extra to grave on summon.
Yeah.
That gets you access to anything. That can send your Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. That can send your Albion. That can send your main deck Lubellion. It can send whatever you need.
Yeah.
It also lists Cartesia as a fusion material
For fusion
specifically.
deployment,
So that's what you're using the deployment for. And then you can banish it from field or grave to special a Dogmatica from deck or a Despia from extra deck.
Insane.
When your opponent special summons a monster by an activate monster effect. So that's always coming up. You're usually summoning the Quertus, You also hard make this pretty often.
Yeah.
Or you can use this to summon Quem from deck because that counts as a Despia.
It does.
Quertus is pretty insane.
Yeah.
Again, you kind of want things with more generic fusion material in here, just to be able to make them off the field spell and the like. This just requires a Despia and a light or dark.
Yeah.
Then during the main phase, as a quick effect, you can change the attack of all monsters on the field except level 8 or higher fusions to 0.
Yeah.
So it pretty much stops your opponent from being able to use their battle phase to out anything. And then if it leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can add to hand or special Fallen or any Despia from deck.
Nice. So there's a few
So
ways to
it
get
gets
Fallen.
you Fallen or Aluber.
Cool.
Then another, same fusion materials actually,
Yeah.
Despia and a light or a dark. This is the time win con. It helps clean up games when they're already low on life because it puts them on a timer.
And it comes back.
And it comes back as just another material.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I like it. I make it pretty often. Guardian Chimera.
Nice.
Every fusion deck should be on this guy.
Yeah.
It does everything you
the
need it to.
It's the main branded in red target.
Yeah, you make it on your opponent's turn with branded in red, which already provides one of the materials just by activating it.
Yeah.
We're not on the normal poly because we're not on the Edgem Chain package. So it can still be targeted, but
it does
the card
enough.
is unbelievably good.
Yeah.
It's also 3/3, and a lot of the big things in the format are 3k, so
Yeah.
you can just use it to walk over them as well. And then this was my tech mostly for Snake Eyes. I'm playing one Mysterion the Dragon Crown.
Love it.
So this requires a Spellcaster and a Dragon, which is pretty easy. It loses 100 attack for each banished card, so it's usually sitting at about 2/5, but that's fine.
Yeah.
When a monster uses its activated effect to special itself, or a monster with the same original type, you can target one of the special summon monsters, banish it, and banish every monster on field with the same type.
Yeah, it's insane.
This is way better into a lot more decks than I realized, but into Snake Eye, you just hit the Poplar and they lose the Ash and the Poplar.
Yeah.
It's particularly good on top of an established board because you're usually ending on like that plus Mirror Jade plus even Puppet Lock or something.
That is Sean's first place, second place, tour apart, side events, branded builds. So yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. Please help us reach 1,000 subscribers and see you.